Hunter, I wanted to start with you. Wednesday gave you such a passionate fan base. As an actor and now as a producer on this film, that puts you on an interesting spot where you can do projects like The Wilderness and give it a
Yeah.
spotlight that it might not have otherwise. How are you kind of navigating that space of your career and finding these projects that you're really passionate about?
Um, no, you're so right. I'm so grateful for Wednesday. I mean, one, I just love that show. I love being on it. We're about to go do season three. Um, but it just opened so many doors for me, and I just think that it will have it will have done that for really kind of kickstart a lot of things for me, and gives me this for it, like, I don't think I would have been asked to do this film if it wasn't for, having so much attention on me from that project. And then, you know, I think being able to share it with fans of the show, obviously, like, just, simple as sharing the trailer, like, and, get some eyes on it, which is really lovely. And I hope that some of the fans of the show connect with this. I know it's a super different project, but yeah, I'm just really grateful for the Wednesday effect of it all, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
that's wonderful. And Spencer, I find the subject matter so interesting. My good friend was actually put into one of these camps and he had never really thought about it or realized like how traumatic that experience was until a couple years ago when Chet Hanks was talking about it. And it's wild what you can just kind of lock away and just accept as a normal thing when you don't know like just how crazy it was. What kind of drew you to this topic and made you want to explore it in this film?
Yeah, well, so I did go to one of these programs when I was in high school. So, um, yeah, man, and there's a big first off, I wanted to tell, I wanted to tell that story to the world. And yeah, there's a lot of people that are, still a part of them is affected by it. You go through these programs and in really pivotal years in your life. And yeah, so I was hoping to play a small part in bringing a little bit of that light to the world.
That's wonderful. Hunter, I thought you played Ed with such a humanity and a real sympathy for him. What really informed your approach to the character and helping ground your performance? What did you look for in the script there?
I mean, the script was just beautifully written, and then I got to, I mean, Spencer and I just worked together on it before shooting for, man, 6, 7 months. I mean, so we really just got to know each other. I got to just really kind of, he was very open with me about his real experiences and his friends. And um, he also, like, introduced me to, like, just different resources online to look at and just hear from different survivors that are brave enough to, and passionate to go out and share their story. Um, and then I was just able to connect with the character emotionally, just with his, like, story of, losing a parent and grief, and um, just letting that kind of be the, like, really inform where he's at before we even really meet him, that you get to see little glimpses of in these flashbacks of the film, though.
Yeah, you're given a lot to work with, and I think your fans are going to be really pleased with this performance. And Spencer, you talked about, living this experience out in your real life. So how was it extrapolating that into a drama and bringing, this real life knowledge, but also crafting a compelling story? How is it balancing that?
Challenging. Yeah, it is. And it's when you're writing something, I'd never done anything like based on experiences. I think as a writer, you're always naturally putting yourself into different characters. But then when when you decide to do something that has autobiographical elements, it's kind of the first hurdle to get over was like, so is this everything real or parts of it, And then you kind of have to understand, okay, like get some distance from it, be authentic, but this is its own story, So that I think for me, that was a big hurdle. And once I kind of made that decision, um, that everything was going to have truth in it, and but it was also going to be a fictional story, then it was freeing in a way.
And Spencer, you did a wonderful job casting. Hunter, I wanted to ask you about Lamar Johnson as a scene partner because you two have some really powerful scenes. What kind of stood out about him as an actor? Because it's really great seeing you two on screen together.
I am obsessed with him. He's so talented. I got to work with him in the show Your Honor a few years before we did this film, but our characters never really interacted. We had one scene where we were even in the same space, and we didn't like. I think we shared a look, um, but I remember just being so captivated by his performance there. And then when I saw that show, I was like, oh my God, he's just one of the best actors I've ever seen. So I suggested him to Spencer when it came time to cast this role, and we were so thrilled that he responded to the script and wanted to do it. And yeah, I mean, you're right. He's incredible, and he brings so much to that character. I loved working with him.
That's wonderful. You got that long-term payoff of, crossing paths, but now you guys got to fully work together. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And, and Spencer, one aspect of the film I was really impressed with was your use of the environment. Sometimes it's so harrowing, sometimes it's gorgeous. How is it using that landscape as a pivotal part of the story? Because, that's a real character too here.
Yeah, totally. So, and thank you for saying that. And yeah, it was intentional. If you were on that set, you remember I was obsessed with what color rocks we were in, and it had to be the whole idea. It in that part of Utah, the environment changes really quick, so we're able to have those red rocks, the white rocks, then the aspen trees, all within 45 minutes to an hour of each other. So we got this ability to show them, being out there for what could be months, but do it all in the same environment where most people would have to, you know, pick up the crew and travel to a new location. So um, I really wanted to, I wanted it to feel claustrophobic, that being out there and the idea that it was just endless expanse, and there was nothing near you. So I think we picked the right place to shoot it because that part of Utah is like, it's just like this magical um, crossing of environments,
Yeah,
topography.
it adds so much to the film. I really loved how you shot it. And Hunter, I'm a huge fan of the Evil Dead movies. I feel like it's the only horror franchise that like doesn't have a bad movie in it. They're all so great. I know you can't talk too much about Evil Dead Burn, but what does it just mean for you to be joining that franchise? That has to be so cool.
It's been incredible. Yeah, I was first introduced to it through the Fede Alvarez one they did in 2013. Um, and then I had seen Evil Dead 2. Actually, we were shooting Wednesday, and there's a scene where someone's like, fighting with the thing, the hand. And so someone said that was a reference for them. And so I watched that film just for fun and was like, oh, well, there's this whole other thing, the like how campy and how Bruce Campbell it is. Um, and so then I got to see the Sam Raimi ones, and then once I found out about this project, I saw everything in the franchise. So it's been really fun to have been a fan of it, but then got to kind of like dive in deeper. And yeah, I can't say too much about it, but it's I hope people are really gonna like it. I think our director Sebastian Vanacek is the perfect guy to take the reins over on this one.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. And Spencer, when you have a young creative like Hunter who, you know, is writing and directing shorts as well, and clearly has that kind of admiration for the craft, how does that help you as a director when you have a true creative partnership?
Oh, so much. I mean, especially as a young filmmaker myself, I'm really I'm relying on the whole team to, hopefully empower everyone to bring everything they can to it. That's the only way a film like this reaches its potential. And Hunter was the first stop on that train, and he added so much, and really challenged me as a director in all the best ways of, um, you know, why are we doing something? He wanted to be a part of every of the knowledge of a lot of those decisions, which, um, can only be a positive for me, So it's been
That's
great.
that's really cool to hear. Hunter, are we gonna get your directorial feature at some point? Is that one of your goals?
Yes, for sure. Um,
Mhm.
really inspiring. Like I've always wanted to do this and I do that and I write a lot, but honestly, this film and getting to work so closely with Spencer was really inspiring. Um, yeah, I hope so. I'm trying to put something together. It's hard to make a movie.
He said he's going to cast me in it, so
Yeah.
we'll flip
Well, I'm gonna let you read for it.
it. I'll blow you away.
There we go. There we go. Fingers crossed. We'll hear more on that soon. And Hunter, my last question. You mentioned getting to film on Wednesday season three soon. How thankful are you that the turnaround's much quicker this time?
I swear to God, we're trying. It's hard. There was a strike in between. We did not mean for it to be 3 years almost between the two. Yeah, it won't be quite as long for season three, but that shows that a lot gets put into it. So it's a big undertaking, but we're trying to get it faster.